Oh man, the stock market was ugly today into the close. I wanted to just do another quick video using Swingtradebot to show you how to get a good, quick sense of what the market is doing. So here's the homepage. Again, I'm a subscriber, so some of the things I do may not be available in the free version. I highly encourage you to subscribe. So this is the homepage. And if I go to research, I can get the general market overview. And the thing that should stand out to you right away immediately is midterm, short-term trends are down for all of the major indices. Oh my goodness, it's ugly. Um, Decliners today, huge versus advancers. And this bar chart shows how many more bearish signals there are than bullish signals, how many more new lows are happening than new highs. It's gotten pretty extreme. So, of course, when I see all this red, I want to know, well, how extreme is the selling? Well, check out the percentage of stocks above their 50-day moving averages. When I write about this technical indicator, I call it AT50 for above the 50. It literally is my favorite technical indicator because I love following the market breadth. You can see here, after a small pop that actually matched my expectations that the market was ready for a bounce. Unfortunately, the bounce was very brief. This indicator came right back down to 33.9%. And I think it's just above the previous low. So it's getting extreme. For me, when it gets down to 20%, that's oversold. Now, the way that this site does the indicator is calculated a little differently than what I use on TradingView. So check out my blog at drduru.com/122 if you want to see the way I deal with this. But anyway, this homepage is great for giving you a very quick overview of what's going on in the market. So now the feature that I saw that really caught my eye on the NASDAQ was the bearish engulfing. And you see, I can hover over the little chart symbol here to get a quick view of what the daily chart looks like. And I can't wave my cursor over there, but hopefully you can see on the far right-hand side that large red down bar. And for the NASDAQ, that's the QQQ, but if you looked at the NASDAQ, it's even more perfectly bearish because the NASDAQ tapped right at the 50-day moving average, which is that red line, and then the faders and the sellers just rock the market. And what makes this a bearish engulfing pattern is that the intraday high was above the previous day's high, and we closed below the intraday low the previous day. And this is even more significant when it's at some sort of resistance level like this one. And in fact, it's even more significant because resistance has converged between the 50-day moving average and the 20-day moving average. This is all just so incredibly bearish. So what I can do now to do another deep dive is to say, well, hey, you can see all of these signals that triggered today for the NASDAQ. The bearish engulfing one is here. So I'm going to click on that and see what kind of stocks manage to also. We should see a lot of them that also had bearish engulfing patterns. And sure enough, you've got 9 pages of stocks that had bearish engulfing patterns. That shouldn't be a surprise again when an entire index shows a technical pattern. There should be a whole bunch of stocks that fall in line. That's a lot of stocks. And I want to filter it down a little bit. So what is great about Swingtradebot is that you could combine scans. So you can see up at the top here, I can do a combo scan. Now, when I click on combo scan, unfortunately, it doesn't bring over the scan that I was doing previously, but I can just go ahead and reselect it. So I want a bearish engulfing, and I want to take a look at stocks that faded right from 50-day moving average resistance. These will be essentially the most bearish of all stocks for the day. I'm going to type in a minimum price of 10 because I don't want these low-priced crappy stocks. And then I'm going to do find stocks. And now you can see when I put this very restrictive filtering on it, there's only 6 candidates. I'm going to go to the chart view so I can quickly scan for some candidates here. And yes, indeed, look at that. That's bearish for Asana. I've actually know about that program, that software program. Sienna, that's a surprise, but you can see Sienna's in a downtrend anyway, so it is bearish automatically. Smart Sheet, oh my goodness, another popular software platform. This one is not so bearish to me just because the 50-day moving average is flattish and this is just a lot of chop. This really intrigues me. Semtech Corporation, check this out. So it matches almost perfectly with the pattern on the NASDAQ with the converged 20-day and 50-day moving average resistance. This definitely makes it on my short list. You can see it even has a F grade from Swingtradebot in terms of its technicals. So I'm going to add it to my bearish watch list. I click on plus watch list and I go down to my herd of bears, which I keep for bearish. And actually, you know what? There's a place for notes. So actually, I'm going to remind myself why I added this. Bearish engulfing at 50 DMA and 20 DMA resistance. All right. And now it is in my watch list. I can show you here from my stocks, herd of bears, and you can see the stocks that are on my bearish watch list, very short list right now. It should be growing pretty fast, especially if Jerome Powell does not deliver at Jackson Hole tomorrow. Let's continue down the list. Take Two Interactive, that looks terrible. Again, I love this perfect resistance at the 50-day moving average for Take Two. Just because there's a lot of what do you call it, M&A in this industry, I'm just going to leave it off the list. I don't want to get surprised with a Monday day acquisition news or something like that. And then Zscaler, ZS, that will definitely go on my list because I don't like the look of this pattern either. Now, before I add it to the watch list, I'll just remind you that none of these setups are guaranteed. So you want to know if you do enter into these trades, you want to have a well-defined stop. These setups are very easy to have well-defined stops because if the stock, for instance, closes above the 50-day moving average, I definitely want to get out because it means the bearish setup is over. If you're very, very bearish, you would wait for confirmation of the 50-day moving average breakout with a higher close, with a second higher close. So let me add this to my watch list. I click on plus. I go down to my herd of bears, and I'm just going to go ahead and save it. And I'm done. So hopefully this is helpful for you. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for more of these tutorials and other trading action. I love to tell narratives from the stock market. I'm a big fan, and I love telling stories about the stock market because there's always so much to talk about. I also have a blog, drdewey.com/122. Love for you to check that out. Subscribe to the email list. It's all free. And I will see you sometime soon. Be careful out there.